It is officially trade season in the NBA, and we're going to be reacting to the latest reports from Shams that say the defensive-minded demon Herb Jones is on the trade block. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshal Green. Let's dive into it. Shams on the New Orleans Pelicans, quote, "The Pelicans are currently 5-20 in last place in the Western Conference, and now Ingram is out indefinitely with a significant low left ankle sprain. Williamson also remains sidelined indefinitely with a left hamstring strain suffered on November 6th. The Pelicans' three All-Stars, Ingram, Williamson, and Murray, have yet to play together. Teams have already started expressing interest in the Pelicans supporting cast players such as Herb Jones and C.J. McCollum. If you've been watching this channel, you know that I am a huge Herbert Jones fan. Shout out to Herb Jones. I love everything he's about. I love the way he plays basketball. I love the way he carries himself, the confidence he plays with, the tenacity that he plays with, and I believe that he would be a picture-perfect fit for what the Knicks need right now on this roster. This is a guy that's one of the better defenders in the NBA. Hasn't played that much this year, just about 7 or 8 games due to a shoulder injury of his own, but he's off to a good start, averaging about 11 points per game. The shot hasn't just come so far this year, but I'm not too worried about the three-point shot for him. We saw in 2023, 2024, he was able to shoot 41.8% from three. Maybe that was a little bit north of what he's normally going to do, just 33.5% pretty much the prior 2 years. But I think a happy median for him is 35, 36%. And if you can do that, as well as add to what he already does on the floor, which is absolutely change the game on defense, you got a guy that's going to be a big part of the winning puzzle that you're trying to put together. And if he's available for a trade, I believe the Knicks should do whatever it takes to go out and get him. In 2023, 2024, he was an all-defensive first-team wing. He was 5th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. So this is a guy that's respected league-wide for what he could do on the defensive end. And in his career, when it comes to steals per game, he's been 8th in the league, and 12th in the league, and that's a big part of what he does, and he's able to do that because of his intangibles as well as tangibles with a 7-foot wingspan. This guy is extremely versatile on that end, and if you could put him on the floor at the same time as OG Anunoby and make Herb Jones your point-of-attack defender, that could change the landscape of this defense. As we know, thanks to the new CBA, shout out Adam Silver and the apron rules, when we're talking trades, we got to talk contracts now because you pretty much got to match the money exactly. And with the Knicks hard capped at that second apron, they've got to send more money out than they receive. He makes $12.9 million this year, $13.9 the next year, and $14.8 the following year. So the Knicks, if they wanted to acquire Herb Jones, they would have to send out at minimum $13 million in a trade. And I think it'd be a perfect fit. Do I think a trade could get done? Yes. Do I think a trade is all that likely? I'm not so sure. But if you could add Jones to this team, who I look at as a hard-nosed, versatile defender who has shown the ability to knock down the three-point shot before, I think it fixes a lot of problems that you have. I know a lot of people want to talk about the rebounding, and absolutely the rebounding was disgraceful against the Atlanta Hawks. But more often than not, it's the perimeter defense that I feel like is lacking for the New York Knicks. They can't stay in front of people. They're always in rotation on defense, and that causes a lot of problems on the back end. I think adding a guy like Herb Jones would be able to fix those. Thing is, to get something, you got to give something up. And the ideal trade, if you are going to add Jones, would most likely involve Mitchell Robinson traded out because he makes about $14.3 million. So the salaries work in a deal. You send Mitch to New Orleans, where he grew up, and then Herb Jones comes and joins the New York Knicks. Shams also reported on December 11th that Mitch is most likely going to be out into February. Probably not going to be cleared until late January, and then it's probably going to be a ramp-up period, so you may not get him until late February, maybe mid-February, but early February at the latest, and then you're dancing with the trade deadline. And the question is, can the New York Knicks afford to wait and run the risk of holding on to Mitch and then seeing if he could stay healthy? We'll talk more about that in a second. First, though, I got to give a major shout-out to our proud sponsor, GameTime. If you're looking for the best ticketing app on the market, download this one. It's called GameTime. So just go to the App Store, type in GameTime. The logo that you will see is the one that you see with the white G and the black square. It's the app where you get the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. Guys, I've used all the ticketing apps out there. They're all not that good. This one, it's the best. You get the last-minute tickets at the best price. If you're a procrastinator, you're going to love this app because prices drop as the events get closer. If you don't want to spend the cheese until the last second, GameTime is the app for you. So download the app, create an account, and use that promo code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off first purchase where terms do apply. My favorite feature is the all-in pricing feature. That way the price you see is the price that you pay. You don't get hit with all those hidden fees when you get to checkout. So support the show, support the sponsor, be a real one. Download GameTime and use the promo code CHATSPORTS. All righty. When it comes to Mitchell Robinson and involving him in a trade, the question I think you need to ask yourself is this. Can the New York Knicks run the risk of waiting for him to be healthy? Can they wait until mid-February or late February for Mitchell Robinson to come back? Yeah, I mean, look, if you wait and you are guaranteed he's going to be healthy, it's worth the wait. Because I do think Robinson would be a nice addition to this team if healthy. That's a big if, though. Robinson hasn't played more than 65 games more than one time in the last 4 years. And the question is, can he get healthy? He's had 2 major ankle surgeries in the last 12 months. And he's really starting to stack up the injuries throughout his career. And it's not just can he get healthy, it's when he is healthy, can he then stay healthy? That's my biggest worry with Mitch. I know Mitch brings a lot to the table. Best offensive rebounder in the NBA. He would shore up the defensive rebounding problem as well. He'd give you another style of fighting to win a game. You could play Cat at the 4 and Mitch at the 5. What happens if you hold on to him past the trade deadline and then March another injury happens and he's out for the year? Then you're just shit out of luck. The game against Atlanta did show me, though, that this Knicks team could use Mitch. And I never really thought that they weren't able to use him or didn't need him. It's just, I don't trust Mitch. I don't. I know he's a good player. What he does, he's really good at. He can impact the game in a lot of ways. But I believe the best stability sometimes is availability. And he hasn't been all that available throughout the last 4 years. So what about this as a trade idea? Mitch sent home to New Orleans and Louisiana, and they sent Herb Jones to the New York Knicks. I think the Knicks would have to add a couple of picks, maybe a handful of seconds, maybe a first and a couple of seconds, but let's just keep it straight up right now. Would you make this trade? Would you trade Mitchell Robinson for Herb Jones? Type A for accept, type D for decline. I want to hear from all the real ones down in the comment section. This is an accept for me. It really, really is. I have more belief that Herb Jones, I just trust him more. I trust him more to stay healthy. Like if you guaranteed me, you promised me, you told me that Mitchell Robinson was going to be healthy and there was no way he was going to get hurt ever again, yeah, I'd want to hold on to him. But is that really going to happen? I really think banking on Mitch to be the savior for this team is sketchy. I mean, I don't think we should ever call Mitchell Robinson the savior. I saw a couple people on Twitter do that last night. I don't know. And at the end of the day, like, Cat's probably going to play 40-plus minutes in the playoffs. His coach is Tom Thibodeau. We do know Cat has had some foul trouble issues throughout his career. Maybe that opens up more of a playing time opportunity for another center. And if you trade Mitch, maybe you're shit out of luck there. Or maybe a center gets cut and waived and you can go out and add one in the buyout market. Like, there's still other ways to go out and add to this team, even if you do trade Mitch. Maybe you trade Mitch for Herb Jones, and then you pull another trade and you trade Precious Achiuwa for a real center. Maybe you swap Achiuwa for Nick Richards, and then your bench unit is Miles McBride, Herb Jones, and Nick Richards with campaign. You add another wing defender, you add a true center, and you still got Jericho Sims, who you know Tibbs is going to play if he has to, and maybe Huck Porty continues to get better and better. It's the beginning of December. It's a long way to go, but we are officially in NBA trade season. So we're going to be breaking those down on this channel all the time. Make sure you are following me on Twitter, at @MarshallGreen_. I'm on IG, @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up, and let's go Knicks.